Hello. In this video, we are going to talk about how we can put automatic captions and also automatic references in Microsoft Word documents. These are extremely helpful, especially when you have a long document and you're going to have multiple figures or images and tables in your document. Let me show you where the problem is. So the problem is basically when you have a text and, for example, this is a sample text, and you have these texts, and then in your document you want to add a figure. So imagine you want to put this figure in your document. Let me bring up the figure, something that is meaningful. Okay, so for example, you want to add this figure in here, and then let me call it figure 1 sample plot, and then you have some more text coming in, and then you want to have, for example, another figure in here. So I said this one, so this is, for example, another figure, and then you call it figure 2. Now, when you add to your document and then you realize that, oh, I should, for example, have another figure on top of this one, then you need to update the rest of the image in your document. So imagine, for example, you add this image in here. So I call it, for example, figure 1. And now I need to go and manually edit these and change this to 2 and change this to 3. This problem is even worse when you have references to these figures inside your document. For example, in this sample text here, you say, please see figure 1. And for example, in here you say, for example, please see figure 2. So this one was figure 1 earlier, and this one was figure 2 earlier. But when I added this, now this one is figure 2, and this one is figure 1. So what you need to do is, you need to go and manually change this to 2, and manually change this to 3. Which is not very convenient, especially if you have multiple figures in your document. So it is always best to add captions and these references automatically in your document so that you can automatically update these values. So let's go ahead and make the necessary changes in the document that we have, and then see how moving around the figures would change the labels that we have in here. So let's begin with first automatically put captions in your document. So I remove this, and then I go to references, I go to insert caption, and we are going to have a figure. So by like automatically we can add equation, figure, table. You can also add a new label. So this label is something that I added manually. So if you click on new label, you can create new like labels. But let's say I want to add this figure. So you leave it there. So that is the text that is going to be added. So it's the figure. I say okay, and then that figure is added. Now if you pay attention, when I click on the number, you see this gray shading around it. It shows that this is an automatic text. Okay. So now the style of this text is also called caption. So if I go here, this is now caption. Well, of course, you can change this slide style as you wish. For that, you can look at my other video. The link is inside the description of this video. Okay, so let's now make the necessary changes for the other ones. So I change that, I remove that text, I go to references, insert caption, again figure, I say okay. So I put the dot. Now that is an automatic text, and I go there and then insert caption, figure 3, I said okay, and then dot and sample plot. Okay, so I call it sample plot 2, and this is sample plot 1. All right, so this is basically how you can add this. And now, if I, for example, move this text around, so I put it now above this text, if you can see, it is still 3, but technically that should be now 2. So what I'm going to do is I basically select all my documents and I right click on this number and then I say update field. When I click on this 3 should change to 2 and this 2 should change to 3. So I click update field. That is 2 now and this is 3 now, which is exactly what we wanted. All right. So this is the automatic captioning. Now let's see how we can do automatic referencing. So I want to make a link from that point to, for example, this image that we have in here. So I put my cursor there, and then I go to reference, and then cross-reference, and then I come down. It is a figure. It now lists all the figures that we have. I do not want to add the whole caption. I just want the label and the number. Okay, and then I say, okay, I want to make a link with this plot. I say, oh, insert, close. Now, if I click on this text, you see that gray shading around it, which indicates that this text is automatic. Now, let's, for example, come here and make a link at this point to this figure that we have. So again, from references, I come to cross-reference. I put that link there. And I click on insert and close. Again, when I click on it, this is now gray around it, which indicates that this is an automatic text. Of course, if I move this around, if I bring it down, nothing will happen because the numbering is exactly the same. But now let's see what will happen if I basically remove this text. I take it to the bottom of the page and I put it there. So now this needs to be actually figure 3. This should be figure 2. This should be figure 1. And importantly, this needs to change to figure 1 and this needs to change to figure 2. So again, I press Ctrl A to select the whole document. Alternatively, you can go to Home, select all, and then in here you can right click, update field. So when I do that, pay attention that this is going to be figure 2 after I click. So it becomes figure 2 and this is also figure 2. That is figure 1. This is also figure 1. So this way you can have these automatic labels. One extra advantage that this automatic formatting have is that, for example, if you're writing your dissertation and you want to create a table of figures, it's very easy now. Because if you go to references, in here you can add table of figures, and then you adjust the setting that you want. But if you go with the default, now we have this table which is automatic. And as you can see, it automatically detected the page numbers, the captions are there, and everything is fine. Now, let's say, for example, I change the order of that text, that figure, with this figure. So this has to be now figure 2, and this has to be figure 1, and of course these need to change as well automatically. So if I select the whole thing, and then in here I right click, update field, this has to change to 2, this has to change to 1. But before that, it asked me this question. This question is relating to this table. It asks whether I want to change only the page number or I want to update the entire table. If you make changes to the caption or you change the order of the figures, you need to say update entire table. You can pretty much always update based on entire table, but if your document is long, this will take a few moments to run. So if you have not done structural changes to your document, it is always best to go with numerical numbers only. But if you have moved around the text and the figures, then it is better to go with update entire table. So for now, because I changed the order of the figures, I need to say update entire table. So if I do that, these two will swap. So those two swapped. This is figure 2, this is figure 1, and the order of these are correct as well. Similarly, if you had tables, it's the same story. So for example, I have a simple table there, it doesn't really matter, and I want to add a caption to this table. So I go to references, insert caption, in the label I say table, it detects that it is table 1, you say OK, and then you say this is a sample table. If you want to make a link, so this is a sample text, C, and in here you want to, for example, say table 1, you basically go in here, cross-reference, you say I want to cross-reference a table. I don't want the entire table, but entire caption, but I only want the label and number, and then you select that, and then you say OK. So now insert, and now I have this automatic caption in there that will update if I have, for example, another table, if I have if I move around the tables. For example, if I add a new table on top of it in here, oh no, not that one, insert table, for example, I have another table here. If I say references, insert caption, it detects that that has to be table 1. When I say OK, it automatically updates this one to table 2, and then this is a sample table. And in here, basically, if I am there, I right click on it, I can say update field, it automatically changes it to 2. So basically you can select your whole document and then click on update field, or you can just right click on what you want to update and say update field. The shortcut in Windows machines is F9. So if I move around these two and I want to update these, so this has to be table 1, and table 2. I select the text and I press F9 to basically make the change. So that's it. Good luck with everything and happy writing. Thank you.